Yeah. You must start.
Yeah.
What's about the article?
First of all, what is your name and your...
Нет, это мы вставим титры.
you can...
Is it ready?
Yes, you can repeat what's your name and what's your role in your organization.
Okay. My name is. Can I start? Okay. My name is Lal Parajuli, and I'm from Nepal. I am the General Secretary of National Teachers Association of Nepal, and I am one of the editor of Communist Politico Economics. This is the journal, like a small book, and we have tried to present these books to the international community. So entirely we have written this book in English, and the chief editor of this book is Gunaraj Lohani. He is the central member of Nepal Communist Party, and we other who are the editors of this small book, Communist Politico Economics. Why we prepare this book? There may be the question. And why I am here in Russia and I am presenting this book? It may be the question. The answer of this question is, at the present time, there we can see the demise of scientific socialism especially here from Russia, started from Russia, and then there is the change of system in China, and there we can see the collapses of socialism from 15 countries of European society. And in front of us, there become a great question: why and how the communism, especially socialism, the established socialism, why it didn't work? Why the socialism system collapsed from the European countries, Russia, and other countries? It's the great question of the present time. So from the Nepal, we have tried to give the answer of the question of such a great question, and probably when we presented the answer of this question, it may be the great issue of the debate. So we are presenting this small book, Communist Politico Economics, and inside this book there are 8 articles. The first article was mode of production. The first article is mode of production affected by science and technology. Biplab is the General Secretary of Nepal Communist Party. And the second article is Great 8th General Congress and Accountability of Communist. Prakand is the spokesperson of Nepal Communist Party. Politico Economic Orientation, written by Dharmendra Bastwala. He is the standing committee member of Nepal Communist Party. Relationship between political economy. Hemanta Prakash Oli, Sudarshan, he is also the member of standing committee of Nepal Communist Party. And other 4 articles, characteristics of Nepalese comprador economy, written by Gunaraj Lohani, facets of Nepalese economy, Raj Garg. And I have written here, I have presented one article, People's Political Economy, the Highway of Scientific Socialism. And under this article, I have presented especially the main reasons of demise of socialism and how the socialistic country can be re-energized and revived. Whether we can prepare the real economic strategy to meet the present need of the 21st century or not. It's the main question of thought. So I have presented here in People's Political Economy, the Highway of Scientific Socialism, a short brief introduction about the past history of the world and the present condition of the world and the future perspective of the communist movement. I have tried to present 3 things. So we have learned from the past, from the history. Now we are in the modern age, and it is the yes, it is the age or era of the information and technology. So whether we can keep up with the modern speed of the development, with the thought of communism, of scientific socialism or not, it's the question of great debate nowadays all over the world. And most probably in front of the Russian people also, there may be the question. Lenin, the great person, he established the socialism after the Great Revolution. First of all, in 1905, the revolution became unsuccessful. Then after 12 years, again the revolution started. He had ruled Bolshevik party, and then he became successful. Then after almost 6 decades were passed, and some sort of development, physical development, materialistic development can also be observed in Russia. Right now I am here and I am observing. I am not coming here only to see the road transportation and the people and the natural beauty. I am coming here to know the real economic status and the people's sentiment about the socialism. Whether the scientific socialism can be re-established in Russia or not. In my opinion, the unsuccessful revolution of 1905 leads Russia to the successful revolution. That means the failure of socialism here in case of Russia, it doesn't mean that there is no possibility of re-establishing socialism here. So the weaknesses should be removed if there is any lack in understanding, in principle, it should be corrected. It should be observed because communists, they can accept their errors and mistakes. If we corrected our mistakes and errors, we can move forward because there is no any alternation. The so-called capitalism can't be the alternatives of socialism because socialism always guided by the scientific principles. So scientific principles are well accepted all over the world. We do not believe unnecessary religious creed. That doesn't mean that we hate religious person. The people who follow religion, creed, they have their own beliefs. But I can say the religion is the point from where the ignorance started. If the normal people can't understand the reality, then he accepted the point of religion. Is it possible to know, to get the truth through the point of religion or not? It's the question of thought. So religion is another part, and the establishment of scientific socialism is another part. People are following the religion. It means there is the ignorance. Most of the people, they are following ignorance. Ignorant people can't accept the principle of scientific socialism directly. So we need to change their way of thinking, living, and the way of understanding the world. So it's not important to know the reality of the world. But what is important? The more important thing is to change the world. Now question rises, Lenin changed the world. So Lenin changed the Russia, but why? That change Russia didn't alive. Why? Probably there should be the correction of theory. The change world should be continued and reformed. So our party, Nepal Communist Party, have added one principle. As said by Karl Marx, the world can be understood, the world can be changed, and that changed world should be preserved and developed. So there may be the question of redefining the theory and principle, and what we are trying is to redefining the theory, and I have presented one aspect of that thought in this article, People's Political Economy. And especially this article, Political Economy, People's Political Economy, is directed towards the economic system of the socialism. Where are the weaknesses of socialism? After establishing socialism, what happened? There, people couldn't control over the power of leader. They misused the money. When they started to misuse the money, people thought that so-called feudalistic people, they had also the same tendency. After having success, such a great revolution, why the leaders of such party, they are also misusing money? There is the question. Question was raised by the people, and they didn't listen the answer of this question. They didn't listen. They should give the answer of that question. The answer, we have tried to give the answer of this question. So, what is the answer? The answer is that to solve this problem, we need to form, the world need to form the systematic economic transformation committee. After reaching to the socialism, no political leader has right even to touch a single penny of the economy. The committee, economic committee, should decide where to use the money, how to use the money, whether the use of money is directed toward the social welfare or not. The political power can be given. The power of making a decision can be given to the leader. But he should be controlled. There should be the control over the misuse of money by the leader. If we accepted this principle, then scientific socialism has no alternative in this world. So in that respect, in that regard, I have written this article. And I have presented this article in front of the whole community. Whether these thirds are true or not. So I want to request to all of the economists, all the political leader of the world, please read it and comment it. Because to err is human, it is said. And there is one tradition of telling a person without mistake is either a devil or a god. It is said so. I do not believe in a God. Because God, if there is God, God is a human. The person who works well is the God. The person who works for the people, the person who think about the world, the person who think about the earth, who always want to beautify the earth, he is the God, if there is. But people always talk about the Almighty. It is related with the religion also. And I have already told that the ignorance of the people demand the culture of the religion. So the religious culture can never fulfill the needs, the present need of the people. So we are talking about the scientific socialism. If there is the necessity of redefining in some principal aspects of scientific socialism, the leader of the communist leader of the world should redefine it. But truth is truth. We are in the real base. So the real background, the real base of the scientific socialism never changes. Why? Everything changes and flows in its motion, but why the real base of scientific socialism doesn't change? There is the answer. The answer is that the base of scientific socialism is the revolution. So it doesn't change. Revolution doesn't mean that to kill people, to raise weapons. Revolution means to change the mind and human action entirely from what they are accepting traditionally. So if we change the traditional activities, traditional thought, traditional working or way of thinking, and we thought about the humanity. The only religion of the world is humanity. If we served people, poor people, if we served the needy people, there is humanity. If there is religion somewhere in the world, it is the true form of religion. That means humanity is the only form of religion. Even though many people talk about the religion, because we are not catching the real highway of scientific socialism. So we need to catch the real highway of scientific socialism. until and unless we following the real highway of scientific socialism, the reactionaries, so-called capitalists, they always misuse the people. They always misguide the politics. And they rule the nation and they are ruling too. So we communists, we people who believe in scientific socialism, we need to break the old tradition of our thought. We need to give the new theory that can accept the modern concept of the people, modern development of information and technology. The old science, the primitive science presented by Newton and Einstein, it has also been changed itself. So with the changing shape of science and technology, whether we can redefine our theory of scientific socialism or not, we can. Philosophy can also be redefined and redeveloped. We have thought so. Philosophy is not a rigid thing. With the development of science and technology, with the development of our thought, philosophy can also be redeveloped and redefined. Probably there may be a great debate in the world whether philosophy is redefined or not. But we think that philosophy is redefined. So I have presented some ideas in relating with these words in this article, People's Political Economy, the Highway of Scientific Socialism. And lastly, I have presented here the information about the International People's Commune. As far as possible, we need to form IPC so that from all over the world, all socialists and communists, they can come together, they can unite and they can form the International People's Commune. And through this commune, we can aware the entire world and we can change the world. One day, the whole world will stand towards the scientific socialism, and the only highway of receiving the happiness of the entire people is the highway of the scientific socialism. I think so. Thank you very much.